Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Anna Vanila Arts. I am Anna Vanila and please feel welcome just to watch my videos about all sorts of things that I upload. There are from drawing, knitting, crocheting, knotting, macrame stuff, other crafting stuff that I do on my channel. I hope you can learn new things that I show you, that I have learned over the tens of years, and hopefully we can, like in this case, in this video, we can knit together and hopefully you will learn new things about how I do things, and maybe there is something you never knew before but you can know now after watching my channel. So please feel welcome and let's enjoy knitting together this beret. This is a stretch band, as you can see, is in pink color, and the needles are number 5. I have, let me see, I have about 67 loops, 67 stitches on my needles, and I will show you how I am knitting this particular stretch band. There are all sorts of types of stretch bands you can do for in the beginning of a hat or beret or anything, but this one in particular doesn't stretch too much after many washes, after many times that you wear this accessory, this garment. And this is one of them which is easy to do even for beginners, and you can knit even for other things that you don't want to stretch over the years of use, and this is one of them. So it's easy and simple. So the first loop we transfer it onto the right needle, we knit a purl stitch, and then it's a front stitch. But this front stitch we do not knit, we just pass it on like so. We knit only purl stitches in this row. So purl stitch, and then we just grab from the inside this front stitch without being knitted, then purl stitch, front stitch without being knitted, purl stitch, front stitch without knitting it, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch. And this is how you knit all this row. And then I'll tell you how to do the second row of this stretch band. And so on. And please always remember that the first loop at the beginning of the row, you just transfer it, you just do not knit. And then the last loop you always knit with a purl stitch, and this is regardless of front level, front side of a garment or back side of a garment. You need to do this all the time. Now this is the second row, so the first loop we transferred onto the right needle, and then we need what we see. So we see a front stitch and then a purl stitch, a front stitch and then a purl stitch. So what we see is what we need. So we see a purl stitch, we need the purl stitch. You see a front stitch, you need the front stitch. So front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch, front stitch, purl stitch. So you need how the loops are looking at you. So what you see is what you need. So one front stitch, one purl stitch, and so on. It's as easy as that. Anyone could do this, even a beginner. So please feel welcome and knit with me. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it knitting with me. And you repeat these 2 levels until you reach the enough length of like height to the base of the beret you want to make. Now what we need to do for this beret is to add extra loops. So we count every 3 loops we add a new loop. So we do 1, 2, 3. We need everything with purl stitch, so we do extra loop like that. 1, 2, 3 extra loop. 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 And every 3 loops you add extra loop like so, like so, you see, like so. And you do this until the end of this row, but bear in mind you need to do all purl stitches when you add an extra loop. After every 3 loops you add extra loop, but you need them with a purl stitch, all of them. And when you add the loops, please do this until the end of this row. And the second row we knit all with front stitches, and the extra loops we've made, everything we knit with front stitches. And then we will start doing the pattern on the main side, on the front side of this beret. Now, to make this beautiful pattern like this, you see it's like little berries, and it's in chest formation, chest composition. You see is in between, like so. And what we need to do is knit this way. So this is a pattern. We take the first loop and transfer it onto the right needle, and then we knit 3 purl stitches. Then we knit 1 front stitch, 3 purl stitches, 1 front stitch, 3 purl stitches, 1 front stitch, 3 purl stitches, 1 front stitch. And this is we knit until the end of this row. So 3 purl stitches and 1 front stitch, and then again 3 purl stitches, then 1 front stitch, and we knit this. This is the first row, so we knit this all this row the same way. Now we have to do the second row. This is obviously the back of the beret, so we take the first loop and transfer it onto the right needle without being knitted, and then we do 3 front stitches, 1 purl stitch, 3 front stitches, 1 purl stitch. So how you see the loops are looking at you, that's how you knit them. So you see a purl stitch, you knit a purl stitch. You see a front stitch, you knit a front stitch. And this is what we do until the end of this row. This is very simple. Even a beginner could do it easily. Now it's the third row. We are on the front of the beret. We transfer the first loop onto the right needle. We knit 3 purl stitches, and then we see a front stitch, but what we need to do is count 1, 2, 3. As you can see, this is 3 rows down, so you count from the one that it is on the needle, 1, and then 2, and then 3. You see 3 holes here. We choose the third hole and we grab the yarn from behind, then we do yarn over, then we knit the first front stitch, and then again with yarn over we hold it in place, and then we go back to the third row like we started, but we just pull the thread and then we release. So we create 5 stitches in one. So 3 purl stitches. Now we count 1, 2, 3. In the third hole we grab the yarn from behind, we make yarn over the needle, we hold it into place, and then we knit And then we knit the first front stitch whilst holding these two loops that we created from this third row below the front stitch, and we knit the front stitch, the first front stitch, then we put yarn over the needle, and then we go back to the main hole, which is 3 rows below of this front stitch. It's absolutely, and 3 purl stitches. It's absolutely easy to do this pattern. It's just you need to be a bit more patient. It takes a while to count how many times and how you curve it. So maybe I could do a couple and you can just see it. So 1, 2, 3. Grab the yarn over, hold it with a finger like so. Then we knit this 1 loop, and then yarn over, also hold it in place, and then we go lowest, which is the first loop from the beginning, and release. 1, 2, 3 purl stitches again. 1, 2, 3. Grab, yarn over, knit the front stitch, the main front stitch, yarn over the needle, and then we knit the lowest, and then we release. 3 purl stitches, and as you can see, you will get this kind of creation, which is very beautiful. It's like berries, it's like strawberries, maybe like little flowers. It's very simple. You just need to get hold of it, get used to it, and it will happen. 1, 2, 3. And so on. Now we are doing the 4th row, so we grab the first grab the first loop onto the right needle, then we knit 3, 1, 2, 3 front stitches, then this a group of 5 loops, we knit it as one purl stitch. So 1, 2, 3 front stitches, and the section of 5 loops we knitted with a purl stitch. 1, 2, 3 front stitches, a group of 5. Make sure you don't make it too tightly. I've made it a little bit tighter here. You knit it with 1 purl stitch, like so. 1, 2, 3 front stitches, and 5. From 5 we make 1 purl stitch, 3 front stitches. From group of 5 we make 1 purl stitch, and this is how we knit until the end of this row. Now it's time to do the chest formation, chest composition. You see, it's not straight, it's also like varied, this pattern. It's not one under the other, it's one near the other. So what we need to do is get the first loop onto the right needle. We need 1 purl stitch, and we do 1 front stitch. Now we do 1, 2, 3 purl stitches, 1 front stitch, 3 purl stitches, 1 front stitch, 3 purl stitches, 1 front stitch, and so on. And this way, where you see the front stitch is where you will do the structure of this kind of berry formation. And then you go back to doing 3 purl stitches at the beginning of a row, and then again after you've finished 4 rows you repeat again from 1 front stitch, 1 purl stitch and 1 front stitch. So you need to vary every 4 rows. You vary, you start once with a 3 purl stitches, and then after 4 rows you do once with 1 purl stitch and 1 front stitch, and then you do 3 purl stitches, and so on. I hope I've explained carefully and as much as I could. I know it's not my language, my main language, but I'm doing my best. I'd like to teach a lot of beginners how to knit, how to do beautiful things. So I hope you can support my channel and subscribe and accept my explanation as it is, because I'm doing my best, and hopefully you're going to like and understand my patterns. So we need to knit now a bit more this pattern, and then I'll show you how I finish it. This is a barely finished beret, and this is a front. You see how beautiful it is. This is at the back with a stitch from behind, and I wanted to show you how I hide the last thread. So I just pick up the braids like so, but you need to have such a needle. It could be made of plastic, it could be made of metal. So we make a knot here. And we hide it through the clouds, through the braids here. Now we cut off the excess yarn, and this is it. This is our beret. Hello everyone, this is the finished beret. As you can see, it's beautiful, is fantastic. It's got like a little bit like knot shape, which is fantastic. Or maybe you can see like it may be a leaf shape or a berry or something like that, but it's wonderful. I love it. This is the crown of the head. As you can see, this beret has a nice rounded edge to it, and it's in pink color, which is one of my favorite colors. It's made of acrylic yarn, and you can see this stretch band, which we've done it in a special way that keeps it from stretching over time. And you can see here I've done the stitch carefully, and it's nearly not visible. And this is where we've hidden the yarn, the odds and ends. This is how it stretches out quite nicely. I think it's fantastic. I love the pattern very much. I like the color. I think is all in all is fantastic, and I wanted to make this beret hat to share it with you so that you can make it yourself too. It's a French style beret hat, so I hope you're going to decide to make one for yourself. Let's check it out on my mannequin, how it will look like. And maybe you're going to decide now to let's say like so, maybe it will make you decide to make one yourself. So as you can see, it's a beret. It's going to the side like so nicely, as you see here. I've made it slightly larger to make sure that it's a bit larger rather than being too tight. So as you can see, my mannequin likes it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's cute. The pattern is great. Is stylish. The color is obviously also special, and I think you may like it enough to make one yourself. Thank you very much for subscribing, for watching my videos, and see you soon in the next video. Please put likes and leave comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.